for Lori and Friends provided by Waste Management. Think green, think Waste Management.
Hello and welcome to Lori and Friends. I have some special friends from Fatima Shrine with me today. Our Lady of Fatima Shrine on Swan Road in Lewiston. A wonderful place, especially at the holidays. And Dolly can attest to that. She's part of the Fatima Shrine Bakers Guild.
Yes.
And they do something really unique there. They have a bake-off every year, but people in the area can get involved as well. And we have Father Richard with us. And he has the distinction this year of being picked as St. Nicholas. You're going to actually do a traditional St. Nicholas.
Right. Costumes and all.
You got it? You have a St. Nicholas costume?
Oh, yes.
Oh, this ought to be interesting. And there are some traditions and everything that go along with
Correct.
that.
That's right.
A lot going on at Fatima Shrine. Starting now, the Festival of Lights has already started, correct, Father?
November 20th, it will have started till January 3rd, is it, I think? January 8th. So we'll be over the Christmas season, Advent into the Christmas season.
Well, absolutely. And then January 8th, well, that's the big gala.
Will be the gala
but that's
banquet.
Like Little Christmas anyway.
Right.
Have to keep the decorations up to Little Christmas, right? I mean, you know, that was always at my house. It was, then we had to take everything down, right? But if you don't, you know, we used to have a big Festival of Lights in the area, and then it kind of left Niagara Falls. The Fatima Shrine picked it up. It's really a beautiful display.
We have many features, one of which this year will be the Rosary Pond, the lights. So I encourage everyone to come if they haven't been there for a while. They'll really be overwhelmed with the beauty and the spirituality.
Well, you know, my family and I dress the boys up. We go and we walk it just as they come out at night. It's a very nice thing to do with your family. It is free. It's a wonderful thing to do if you're going to catch Mass. You know, a lot of us, I belong to St. Mary's of the Cataract, but they occasionally will let me leave and go and catch Mass over at the shrine so I could be part of that. You have the most beautiful nativity scene in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, bar none. Everybody else is in the area, pales to yours in comparison. It's beautiful.
Right. Our director is an artist, and so everything has an artistic touch to it. Father Julia really has a flair for making things look nice and reverent at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And when you go back, you tell Father Giulio, where was he? Because he has stood me up on this show. I can't tell you how many. You're lucky I'm letting you on, Dolly, because you seem like a good person. Because I keep on saying, Father Giulio, thought you were supposed to come cook with me. I want to say last year we were this close to having him. And then something happened at the last minute, like, something silly, like a boiler broke or something, you know, and then he couldn't come and sent somebody else in his place. I think the Sawickis came for him, but a wonderful place. Tell me a little bit about your bake-off that's going to happen on December the 12th.
Okay, well, this is our third bake-off, and it is open to home bakers. Anybody who works at, for instance, Tops or, commercial institution, as long as they don't use the commercial equipment, they may enter as well. We have 6 categories: breads, cakes, candy, cookies, pastries, and pies. They are judged. Professional and celebrity judges will be there. Presentation, taste, texture. The only thing we ask is that the first year when people were submitting their entries, they had so much decoration around the entry itself that it took away from the actual entry. So what we ask is to please put it on a clean white plate. If they don't have something, then they can get something at the shrine. Pies are a different story because, you know, it's in a pie plate. So we ask that you submit 2 of each, because what we'll do is, for instance, I would make 2 cakes. One we cut for the judges to taste, and then the other one, if your entry is picked as one of the category winners, then it is put into the auction, and then it is auctioned off.
Well, that's neat.
Yes. Yes.
Now, what do you get a lot of? I mean, you've got breads, cakes, candy, cookies, pastries, pies. What do you get the most of?
I would say probably cakes, cookies, and pies.
Right.
We only had maybe a couple entries for breads, and those I would say were the main categories that we receive them.
Now you're going to show us some cake decorating tips. Where did you learn cake decorating from, Dolly?
Well, my grandmother, when I was younger, probably about 9, 10, I would always go over to her house, and she would show me how to cook, how to can foods, bake, things like that. So I've always done baking. I really like the baking aspect. And let's see, when my daughter was 1 year old, what I did was I wanted to do something special for her. So I bought a Mickey Mouse pan, and I took the directions out and just made the cake. Well, from there, each year, I made her cake, and one thing led to another, and it was probably not till, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 years that I actually went and took a cake decorating class. And then I took one for doing wedding cakes, and then for family and friends and such. I kind of snowballed from there, and I was making those cakes. And then I was teaching community education classes for cake decorating in North Tonawanda. I taught a home ec class for the homeschoolers, and now they just approached me to do a class for cake decorating for the homeschoolers as well. So
The homeschoolers in the Niagara County area
Right.
have found a haven over at Fatima Shrine. How often do you go there and meet in the cafeteria with other homeschooling people?
usually about every month. And there are different activities, like the one time they had an All Saints presentation. Again, Father Giulio graciously invited us if we needed room to use the shrine cafeteria. So,
Well, because then it gives your homeschooling a whole spiritual
Right. They
sense.
have
Yes.
mass first, then activities following in the cafeteria.
yes.
Well, that's wonderful. I'll tell you a quick story. I too made one of those Mickey Mouse cakes. Cameron it was his first birthday, and I thought I was so cool, right? And it looked great, the whole thing. Cut it all up, and I remembered Cameron looking up as everybody was eating the cake and had this look on his face like this because everybody's mouths was black.
Yes.
And they were laughing at him, and there it was, and they're like, ha ha ha, and everybody's teeth were black and their tongues were black and everything. And I remember this little boy like in horror, and I thought, okay, no more Mickey Mouse cakes, not for me.
I just made a cake for my grandson. It was his second birthday, and he likes Lightning McQueen. So that's red frosting, and he took the ice cream scoop and he scooped the cake and he was eating the frosting. Well, he too had red all over.
Oh, yeah. That's the only thing. They look great. You put them in your mouth, and it's a different story.
Yes.
You wear that color for the day. Trust me.
Yes.
All right. Now, why don't you start us on some of
Okay.
your...
Now, one of the things that people have always asked me how to do is the basket weave. And it really is simple.
You have to do it
Oh,
so that they can see you
okay.
at home. Well, you have a pretty steady hand. While she's doing this basket weaving, Father, there's a lot of concerts that go on, right?
Yes, for the festival. The festival will begin on the 20th, and then during the month of December, we will have the St. Joseph Collegiate Institute Varsity Choir. Then on Sunday, December 5th, at 12 noon Mass, we're going to have Father Stan Fortuna, who will do Mass with a concert. And we're very excited because we're going to have back this year the Buffalo Niagara Concert Band. It's a symphonic wind band. They were there last year. It's a merged band, and they will. I guarantee you, they will do beautiful music, very professionally. That's on Wednesday, December 8th, and that's in the evening at 7 p.m. On the 15th, we'll do for the third time the ceremony of carols. That's the Festival of Lessons and Carols. That'll be at 7 o'clock in the evening. And then on the 30th, this will be as the festival's winding down, we'll have the Voices of Mercy give a Christmas concert, and they have done this for a number of years for us, and that's also quite lovely. So yes, we do have a number of concerts upcoming.
And which is wonderful. You go to a concert, and then you stay and walk around the
Right.
lights, and no,
Right.
it's wonderful.
And you can have, the cafeteria will be open, people can eat there if they wish.
All right, now how are you doing this? You're simply...
Simply weaving.
Yeah, you say that. You know, Dolly, you say that, and you're making it look fairly easy.
My great grandmother used to make wedding cakes, and she used to make the frosting by hand. Can you imagine? No mixer.
No, I cannot imagine.
Yeah.
Well, no, I can't imagine
Yeah.
that. But
a lot of work.
I thought you meant by hand as opposed to taking it out of a can. And I would have said,
No,
well,
no,
yeah,
no.
I mean, I do. Even I do that. Dolly.
No. She would mix the frosting by hand. Yeah. So basically, what you do is you put the frosting up, and then in between.
Okay. What kind of frosting are you using? Did you made
Yes.
this frosting? Is it a
Yes.
butter frosting?
It's a buttercream. Yes.
And how do you make your buttercream frosting?
The recipe calls for 8 cups of powdered sugar, a cup of butter, a cup of Crisco. I used 2 teaspoons of lemon extract.
Because it's a lemon cake.
Yes.
Okay.
And then milk.
And milk. All right.
Yes.
Well, I've had different people tell me water as opposed to milk because then you're not having to worry about refrigerating it.
Well, what I do is, for instance, with the cake itself, I do use milk, but when I need the stiffer frosting for the decorations, this was used with water.
Okay. All right. I bet the kids enjoyed learning this. But you kind of laugh at some of the stuff I did, what I learned in home ec, because I still can't cook, Father. But they did teach me to crochet that year in home economics. And
Yes.
I still do it now. Mrs. Gubala's class. I almost failed that class. It was back in 7th grade. But I can still do crocheting. So,
Good for you.
yes. Many, many years. What kind of tip are you using?
It's tip 47. It's actually flat on one side, and then it has the teeth on the other, and that's what's making the
Little ribbed
yes,
effect.
Yes. I have to get more frosting here. Because
Well, you know what? We're going to take a quick break, okay? We're going to continue frosting the cake. When you come back, you'll see more of her basket weave on the side. And I know you're going to do some flowers for the
Yes.
top, too. You're going to show me how to make a
Yes.
rose, because I really would like to do that.
Sure.
Although this looks so easy. Yeah, it looks so easy. We'll be right back talking more about the bake-off on the 12th of December at Fatima Shrine, where we have more Lori and Friends. Thank you. Does look pretty easy, Dolly, and I have a feeling it's not.
This lush expanse of green does more than beautify our world. Trees help clean the air of carbon dioxide, a major greenhouse gas. As North America's largest recycler, last year alone, Waste Management recycled enough paper to save over 41 million trees. From everyday collection to environmental protection, think green. Think Waste Management.
Welcome back to Lori and Friends with our friends from Fatima Shrine talking about the bake-off that's happening on Sunday, December the 12th. We have Dolly with us and Father Richard with us. And she has finished her basket weave on the cake, and I was kind of amazed. And Kim was a little amazed. She thought she could do it, because you made it look very easy. One cool thing that you have is this neat turntable.
Yes, I bought that at Federal Bakers a number of years ago. And it's a metal stand, and like I said, for cake decorating, it's really
Now let me ask you
great.
this, okay?
Yes.
Because you do cakes
Yes.
for different occasions. Does that make you a professional baker?
Well, there was a little debate.
Will you be entering in as a regular at-home baker or a commercial baker?
Well, there are no categories for commercial.
Oh,
However,
okay.
I could, what I did the first year was I did make a cake with the basket weave and put flowers on it and donated for the bake sale.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, the bake sale
Yes.
happens all day long, both
Yes.
Saturday and Sunday there.
Yes.
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 All right, what are you going to do now on this
The
cake?
next thing I'm going to do are the roses.
Oh, roses.
Yes. And,
Oh, this looks easy.
ready?
Yeah?
Okay.
Okay.
Take your tip like this, and this is your base. Okay, and you're going to go around it. Okay.
Okay.
The first, you have 3 petals. The second, 5. And the next one, 7. Easy.
Yeah.
For some.
Yeah. Okay. This is what would kill me. Taking it off the little
Yeah.
stand there and then putting it on.
Beautiful.
All right, I want to try it.
Okay.
You know I want to try it. No, do another one first.
Okay.
I should. Okay. People from the Peanut Gallery told me that one of the things that's different between using milk and water in your frosting is that milk gives you a little bit of a harder texture, like something that sets up as opposed to the soft one.
Well, with the actually with the milk, I use the buttercream, and what I do is I frosted the top, and then I took a glass of hot water with a spatula to smooth it out, and then I crumb coat before I put the basket weave on.
Crumb coat?
Yes, that's basically to hold all your crumbs in, so that when you're decorating, you don't have a lot of crumbs coming through.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
Now, the frosting for decorating, this is made with water, and I put some meringue powder in it to give it a little stiffer so it doesn't weep.
Okay.
Okay,
This one has the 5, right?
so next is 5, and then 7.
What kind of tip is that?
That is
A
tip
flower
104.
making,
Yes.
A flower making tip.
Now, there are several different tips for instance, like when you make the roses, you can make them large with a 104 tip, or I brought one also that's 101, and you'll see the smaller roses that you can make. Okay?
Okay, I can do this. I know I can do this. Tell me when it's enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Now you want to hold it like that.
Okay.
Okay?
And then to the side.
Now you're going to go around the side.
3.
No. First you have to go around. Go ahead, squeeze. Squeeze and turn at the same time. Squeeze and turn at the same time.
Oh, come on.
Wait, because you're making your base. Go ahead, squeeze
Okay.
and turn. Okay, now that's going to be your base. Hang on.
Well, that's just a base?
That's your base.
Well, this is going to be one big flower.
Okay, now you're going to do, here. You know what, let me put a little more icing in there. She's starting to run out.
Yeah, because it's going to be the largest flower known to mankind. Don't laugh, Father. We'll be making you do one of these next.
I am.